Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor and I am here to talk business, faith, entrepreneurship, fitness, lifestyle, just in general. We are going to build a big, beautiful community here all 2026 and beyond. I am so excited. I am committed to consistency this year. So I would love to have you guys come along on the journey with me. Yes, today we are going to talk about a trade that I took in the market that I lost. Yep, I lost and I was so hurt about it. But we stayed within our risk limits. We did not overtrade and we lived to trade another day. Okay? So without further ado, let's get into the charts. Hey guys, so we are going to go over a trade that I took in the market today at around 6 a.m. We were looking at NQ today, 4 buys, okay? And I'm going to tell you, basically go over how we came to the conclusion that we wanted to go in for buys and what happened during the trade, okay? When I'm looking to take a trade, I'm looking to see where the trend is, okay? The trend is your friend. The trend is my friend. The trend is our friend. I know you've probably heard that a million times, but there's a reason. It is just the truth, okay? So I wanted to make sure that I was looking at the most relevant trend and betting my money on that relevant trend, okay? So I am a scalper, and so I trade on the 5 minute, okay? When I'm looking at the charts, I don't do a top-down analysis. I do a bottom-up analysis. And the reason for that is because I'm a scalper, I want to trade what I see most recently. I feel like if I do a top-down analysis, I'm going to look at the 4 hour, the day, the week, or the month, whatever. I'm going to look at the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the day charts, and I am going to create a bias from what's happening on those higher time frames. And I'm not trading on those higher time frames, right? I'm trading on the 5 minute. So I like to stick to the 5 minute chart, especially when I'm first opening the charts. I like to look at the 5 minute chart, and then I will use the higher time frames to confirm or to not confirm whether I need to go for a one-to-one or if I need to hold my trade. Okay. So on this lower time frame, on the 5 minute time frame, I see that we did have this big bearish movement. Okay. That's relevant only for so long. When price starts to break structure, and it'll be easier to see it on lower time frame, okay? Breaking structure is just like this. You see these lower highs that price is making, okay? Once price starts to reverse and head in the opposite direction and continues to break these lower highs with higher highs, okay? Okay. This is a higher high than this high. Okay. So it broke structure here. Okay. Which is letting us know that that price is wanting to move to the upside. Okay. So we can see that price was making lower lows and lower highs, which is a downtrend. And then price started to reverse and make higher highs and lower highs. Yes. It started to make higher highs. And no, it started to make higher highs and higher lows. Okay. So we see higher lows right here. And these lines aren't straight, but you guys get the picture. The lows are higher than the last low, which indicates that those are higher lows. Okay. So once I've identified a trend, and mind you, I'll say this. Shoot, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Lord help me. Because what is it called? Thank you, Father. Once price has created at least 3 higher highs and higher lows, then I can be comfortable in the fact that price is definitely wanting to move in that direction. Okay. So it's not just because it broke structure, that price broke structure once, right? Headed to the upside. It's that it's done it at least 3 times. Then I can be confident that this trade wants to move up and I can put my money on it. Okay, I'm comfortable putting my money on it. Let me make this bigger. Sometimes you have to do that to see the actual trade. Okay, so demand zone, right? We are looking for the most recent demand zone. That's step number 2. First is find the trend. Then we are finding demand zones, the most recent demand zones. We are looking for the demand zone that happens before the breakout, okay? So we have all type of demand zones. The demand zones are the red candles, red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle. All those are demand zones when we are looking at a bullish trend. All those are demand zones when we are looking at a bullish trend, okay? We are looking for price to come back into that demand zone and then continue up. So this is our most recent demand zone after price has continued to break the last higher high and move in the up direction, okay? This is the last demand zone. So we're going to mark this zone up, okay? This is what I did in the market this morning, right? So I marked this zone up. What I was looking for was for price to come back, tap the zone or tap into the zone, reject the zone, and then I would get in for a buy. Okay, so let's see what happened. Okay, so I want to make note that this green candle right here, right? This green candle right here, I did not want to get in on that candle, okay? It did come back and tap the zone, but I just wasn't comfortable enough taking that trade because I wanted to see a red candle come into the zone, close either in or outside of the zone, and then wait for a break of candle to close outside of that zone, okay? This is just my preference. I feel like if I would have gotten in on this green candle, I would have jumped the gun just a little bit. And my predictions was correct because we actually have this red candle here actually come. And if I would have taken this trade more than if I would have gotten in on this green candle, more than likely, I would have already had gotten stopped out. Okay. So we waited, right? This red candle was the candle that I ended up getting in the trade on. Okay. So what happened is price came down and it came out of the zone slightly. Okay. Now, before I get into what means that the trade was still in play, what is going to set up our trade is our stop loss and our take profit. Since we are going in for buys, we are going to use our long position tool, okay? I have mine set up right here in my favorites, but if you go here, you click the arrow, you have your long and short positions, okay? You use your long positions when you are buying, you use your short position when you are selling in the market, okay? So I have mine over here on my favorites tab. So we are going to click that. And how we're going to set up our trade is we are already going to know where we want to get out of the trade if this just in case the trade goes south and where we want to take profit, okay? So for me, always, my stop loss is right just barely outside of the demand zone, okay? That is where I like to take my stop. That is where I like to place my stop loss, and that is where your stop loss needs to be, okay? That is where it needs to be, right outside the zone, okay? Then our take profit is 1-to-1. Quick, easy trade. Nothing crazy, nothing out of this world. A quick 1-to-1, get our money and get out. That is what we are planning for, okay? So I had it set up just like this. Now, I did end up, like I said, getting in on this red candle here right as it closed. I wanted to make sure it closed outside of the zone. Once it did that, I was comfortable with going ahead and taking buys because I realized that price rejected this zone, this demand zone quite a bit. So I was comfortable with going ahead and getting in for a buy. So that's what I did, right? So I hit buy, set my 1-to-1, set my stop loss. I was all good. Okay. I sat back, I put my hands in my lap, and I just let the trade play out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see the trade, watch the trade play out, and see what price wanted to do. So as you can see, price was bouncing around a lot. I was being so patient. My psychology was on point. I was not getting out of this trade. You see how many times price came so close to hitting my stop loss, and boom, boom. Do y'all see that? It kicked me out of the trade. It kicked me out of the trade. When I tell you I was so hurt, oh my goodness, I was in shambles. I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of this out for you guys so you can feel how I felt, just even if it's just a little bit. Guys, look what price ended up doing. Oh my goodness. I had everything, I did everything correct. I followed my rules. I waited. I did not move my stop loss. I did not move my take profit. And literally the next two candles, my take profit was hit, but I was not in the trade. Okay. This was heartbreaking, but it's okay. It's okay. We did not risk a lot of money at all. That is the beautiful thing about this. I'm telling you, like, it was pennies. And so I am totally okay with that. It was a huge learning lesson. But it was not because I did not follow my rules, right? And this is the thing about trading. You're going to have to find your own trading style, right? Because you're going to be adding things, those little 1% tweaks to really hone in on your trading strategy. That's just going to make you that much better of a trader, right? So I am adding a rule. I am adding a rule. And I've haven't had to add this rule. Maybe I already did it subconsciously, but I did not do it this time. And it really cost me, it cost me my trade. And it just pained me so bad that I do not want to go through that again. So right here, where we see that this wick came outside of the zone, that is where my stop loss would be. That is where my stop loss would be, because this trade is and was technically still in play. Anything could have happened within that large wick, because that's where price is testing. So that's where our stop loss should be. Okay, that is where our stop loss should be. It's not going to be, everything's not going to be perfectly playing within the zone when the trade, if the trade plays out. It's going to be some variance. So I saw that price, was testing outside of this zone just a bit. I mean, it's not even, it was six points. Okay, not much. Price was testing outside. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if I calculated that. No, not 6 points. Not 6 points. A point and a half. Price was testing outside of the zone, a point and a half. My stop loss should have been right at the bottom of this wick. That's a new rule, right? That's just going to make me 1% better as a trader, right? And I can take that rule and implement it into my future trades. And it's just going to work out better for me. It's gonna create in me a better trader, because I know that that's not gonna happen again, right? So, like I said, the trade ended up playing out perfectly, playing out beautifully. It did. Oh, this rejection is ridiculous. It rejected a lot, but I would have been out of the trade anyway. However, if you wanted to hold this trade, you could have held this trade and you would have made a decent amount of money today, right? Yeah, NQ went crazy today. So that is just my take on today's trading day. We live to trade another day. We followed all of our rules. We're just adding a small tweak to make us that much better of a trader. All right. Thank you guys so much. It has been a pleasure. I hope to see you guys in the next video.